Hi, and welcome to Ukulele Lessons EZ 1B. Okay, we're going to talk about how to read some music. Now, if you already know how to read music, I suggest you can go on and skip this tutorial. But if you don't, and you want to stick around, this is like the introduction to kind of getting a brief introduction on how to understand music for the ukulele. So if you notice the staff over here behind me on the board, it's the same staff that you see over here at the top of your syllabus on just about every page, right there. Okay, so take note of that staff, musical staff, because you're going to see it just about on every page. So if you look behind me, these notes right here, G, C, E, A, are the open notes for the ukulele. For instance, G, C, E, A. Okay, so you may hear me, you may have heard me say this several times already during the lessons, because when we check our ukulele for tuning, we're talking about G, C, E, A. G, C, E, A. So that's the open notes for the open tuning of the strings. And now, at this time, I'm going to suggest to get started in learning to understand music, it's really easy. Since you see this diagram at the top of almost every page of the syllabus, every time you look at your syllabus, take note of that musical staff. Notice where the notes are. Okay, so first of all, the G is on the second line. Here's the first line on the second line. So the second line is your G. Next, the C has its own line just below the first line. Okay, and keep in mind, a great way to remember that is that that's middle C. Middle C. And if you play piano, if you have a piano, that's the middle C note on your piano. Same as the C note of your open string on the ukulele. Next, the E note is on that first line. It's on the first line, so that's your E note. So you're starting to notice where they are located. And lastly, your A note is located, I'm going to say, on the second space. You see these are spaces. So there's the first space, there's the second space, and that's your A note. So take note that that's where they lie. And say it to yourself every time you look at the syllabus and you see those musical staff at the top of the syllabus. Take note too, you know, where the notes are falling, on what line and what space. Okay, really take note of that. Same thing over here. Now, the great way to remember it is by giving yourself some acronyms to remember G, C, E, A. Or if you can remember that, it's fine. But I'll tell you what, one of my students gave me the suggestions of a really neat acronym that I decided to keep, and I think it's kind of neat, so I'm going to share it with you. So the way she used her acronym to remember this was girls can eat ants. Okay, so that's girls can eat ants. Okay, now I know that sounds a little weird, but I tell you what, the more weird and strange it sounds, the better you're going to remember it. I'm telling you, it really works. And that's just the way the human mind, the brain works. If we just remember things that stand out differently. Now, you may think it's a little gross. Okay, fine. Maybe you want to change that to guys eat ants, or change it to whatever you want. Whatever it is you choose to decide. The bottom line is this: you want to try to remember the notes for tuning the ukulele, and then you want to start to associating those notes to how they really look on a musical staff. Okay, and so every time you open your syllabus to do your lessons, to do your classwork, you want to always look at that top of the page, see that See where the notes fall. Once again on the second line. C is middle C, has its own line. E is on the first line. A is on the second space, first space, second space. Okay, so I hope you got a little insight on how to understand music and read music. Basically giving you more of a expanded understanding, and also more importantly getting you ready for Ukulele 2, the online course, where we'll be getting into more in-depth study about understanding music, reading music for the ukulele. Okay, so when you're ready to move on to the next lesson, we shall see you there.